All right, everybody. We wanted to go over Muscle Monday. We're going to talk about some anatomy today, just something a little different. We're starting off the semester with doing it like a video. We'll see how this goes and see what to do in the future. So today I want to talk about the AC joint. The proper name is the acromioclavicular joint. Now, this is a joint that everybody has probably heard of. Now, it has a lot of functions, right? It helps with the protraction and retraction of the scapula, elevation, depression of the scapula, and some axial rotation is going to be occurring with upward and downward whenever we're flexing and extending our arm or AB and AD ducting. There are no muscles that act directly on this joint. So everything, it's passive. I often say the AC joint's hanging on for dear life because there's not a lot that's actually driving it. It is multi-axial, which allows the 3 degrees of freedom because of all of the positions that we have to put our arm in. We are S shape of the clavicle requires us to be able to have those 3 degrees of freedom, and it allows us to move our arms even more. Now we can see here that this little green thing is the acromioclavicular joint in and of itself, which is made up of the clavicle and the scapula through the acromion, right? And that is right here. Here's the acromion, here's our clavicle, and as they come together, that makes the acromioclavicular joint. Now we're going to have some intrinsic and extrinsic ligaments here. So we're going to have the superior and inferior acromioclavicular ligaments holding on to it from the top and the bottom. And then we'll have the corticoclavicular joints trying to pull down. And that's really important for that upward rotation that you'll get from that S curve. Now, we also have a joint capsule here, and it's completely enclosed by a fibrous capsule lined with synovial membrane. So yeah, it is a synovial joint. And it also has some additional support because it's supported by the traps and the delts. They are either going to insert or originate here. So that's going to provide additional support. Now we got some common injuries here with the for the AC joint, and of course the AC joint sprain. If you've ever heard of a shoulder separation, that is just a acromioclavicular joint sprain. And whenever somebody has a clavicle that's sticking way up above their shoulder, well, that's evidence of a grade 3 shoulder separation or AC joint sprain. To fix it, obviously, it takes, well, not obviously, it would require surgery and they'll go in and wire the thing back down. We can get osteoarthritis in this joint from a lot of contact and other things. And also, there's something called the distal clavicle osteolysis, and that is the weightlifter's shoulder. Whenever all the catching of the cleans and the snatches, sometimes it'll start building up there. So you got like a little, I don't know, tumor-looking thing out on the end of your clavicle. Now, to make sure that the AC joint is healthy, we got to balance the shoulder workouts. It can't be all stuff in the front, all stuff in the back, all stuff out to the side. It needs to make sure that we're working on both our shoulder and our scapula to be able to go in all directions and all degrees of freedom that is available there. But we need to make sure that you have appropriate mobility because if you don't, well, then what's going to happen is the head of the humerus is going to come up and start hitting that acromion and causing a type 2 or type 3 acromion over time. A lot of people don't actually have the range of motion to actually effectively overhead press. And what I mean by that is they are limited in shoulder flexion. So if somebody is limited in shoulder flexion, they're going to be making that up through maybe, straining that AC joint a little bit more, or they're going to get hyperextension of the lumbar spine, et cetera, to be able to achieve those positions. So if they are trying to overhead press without the recommended mobility, they're just going to end up wrecking your AC joint. Check the supporting area, and really for that, we're really talking about the scapular muscles to make sure that we've got appropriate scapular rhythm, specifically within upward rotation. And then check the form. Is this looking like the way that it's supposed to? Just because you start at the right position and end in the right position does not mean that you went through the right movement. So make sure that the form is being checked. If you like strength and conditioning type information, human performance type information, and you're wondering what to do next for your education, come join us in AggieLand. And we got master's and bachelor's programs that will be that are just for this profession, just to allow you to enhance your abilities here. We would love to see you. That's all for today. We'll see you later on. That's it for Muscle Monday.